Well, hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm super glad that you're here. Today I'm feeling incredibly productive in the most creative of ways. Some days I want to knock things out and just get things done like on a to-do list that need to be done, that are more housekeeping, more practical, more logical. And then some days I just want to ignore all of those things, let the dishes pile up, let the laundry sit, and be totally creative and just make things. And that's kind of where I am today. I do have some housekeeping that I need to get done because it is Saturday morning and we just don't have a ton of time during the week to knock out things, and if I let it go for even a day, it just really backs up. So I am working on some housekeeping things. My husband is working today. He works 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. So he's just woken up and we are about to eat breakfast. I got up early with one of my girls this morning, and while she kind of watched Saturday morning cartoons, I did my quiet time. I got mostly ready. I have been perusing through photos on my computer and my phone, and I do like monthly Facebook photo dumps for our family and friends. So I've been going back for years and years looking at photos because I want to get into a couple of creative projects today, and one of them is going to include a bunch of those pictures. So I'm excited to share more about all of that with you later. I've had a very nostalgic and sentimental type of morning, so I'm kind of all up in my feels right now, and I'm just excited to get this day going. My husband does need me to cut his hair before he goes to work, so after we eat I'm going to be doing that, and that's why I am in like total baggy clothes right now. I look like I'm going to paint a room or something, because after I cut his hair I always have to wash off. It feels like I have hair sticking all over me and it's just like itchy. It's not comfortable. I have to take a shower afterwards, so I will be changing clothes before I really get started with my day. My mom's going to come down in a little while after he goes to work, and we are going to go to the craft store and get some things to get started on these fun endeavors. So I'm very, very glad that you're here, and I hope you enjoy this. Let's get started.
Thank you for this food. Thank you for this little munchkin.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is there water in your mouth? Swallow.
There we go.
There we go. Oh. Ah. Careful. Show me something. Whoa. Hey, pick those up, Annie. Don't let them fall down in the crack and end up under our bed.
I don't need to get it. Tomorrow.
No, the day after tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I'm gonna sick.
Unfortunately. Other than that.
Okay, so we are back from Hobby Lobby. I am super excited because, well, I'm not super excited at the moment because I have a lot of housekeeping things that I need to get done. I am working on dishes right now. I've been putting away the girls' laundry and just kind of putting some things back in order around our home so that when the girls come back home, right now let me back up. We were playing outside after we got home. My mom and grandmother left, and my brother and sister-in-law live next door, and their little girl was outside, and they were like, hey, do your girls want to come play? Because she would love some friends. I said, yes, because I had not eaten lunch. It was like 4 o'clock, so I had a chicken sandwich for a late lunch, early dinner. I'll probably need another snack before bed, but that's okay. I sent the girls over with a plate of chicken nuggets and ketchup, and So they are loving life. They have Barbies in hand, and it's just so fun having little girls. So it's a really sweet situation. And all of this to say, I'm hoping for an early bedtime for them so that I can work on our first craft project of this video. So I am trying to start scrapbooks for each of my girls, and I'm starting with my oldest daughter Rosie because I've never printed photos since either of them were born. I mean, last year I printed some for like a family album, but they were mostly family photos, not specific to them or to their life events or milestones. So this morning I spent like a couple hours going through and ordering the first 2 years of photos for my oldest daughter Rosie. So I was hoping maybe this could be something we did together, but for right now I think I'm probably going to start it on my own, get the foundation of it going, and then as she gets a little bit bigger she can join in and help me out some. So while the house is quiet for a few minutes, I'm going to try to knock out some of this housekeeping stuff, and that way when they come home I can just get their baths done and get them ready for church tomorrow. Hopefully they'll go down a little bit early for bedtime tonight because of all the fun that we've had today. And then I can scrapbook some this evening, maybe make a nice cozy drink and turn on the show I've been binging on Netflix while Nicholas is at work late at night and just scrapbook away. Tomorrow morning we will go to church, and tomorrow afternoon I plan to work on another little project for myself which, let's be real, these scrapbooks are kind of for myself too. However, I do plan on the girls taking them with them when they go. Like, this is definitely for them. I'm just really enjoying it because I'm getting to reminisce on all of these things. And just a side note tangent, I was telling my husband earlier that I feel like because our daughters were so close in age, it has its sweet moments, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people are always like, do you recommend that or no? It's sweet at times. We are still in like the toddler fog and the little years, so it's still really difficult a lot of the time, but it is sweet at times, like to have two girls who enjoy a lot of the same stuff, very close in age, but could not be more different. Like, it's fun, it's exciting, it's always an adventure. But with that, because they were so close in age, I feel like our oldest daughter Rosie, I was kind of just like, life was such a whirlwind right after we had her. We were first-time parents. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just figuring it out as we go, like most do. And so it's kind of already like a blur at that point. But then we found out we were pregnant so soon after that. I mean, she was like had just turned 1 when we got pregnant with Annie. And so then it was like all kind of a blur because of that. So going back and looking at pictures, it's just like, man, I feel like we were there for this, but we weren't fully there for this. And so it's really sweet and just kind of nostalgic to be able to reminisce on those things. And I've really been enjoying it. I tried to do scrapbooking when I was like in middle school or high school, and I just got really bored with it. But I think this is different because it's very purposeful, and it's allowing me to go back and be in those moments again, as well as it's forcing me to be intentional about printing pictures because I've been wanting to get better about that for a while. If you watched my 2025 New Year's resolutions video, then you heard me say, I think, that I wanted to print more pictures this year. So here I am succeeding with that resolution. But let me get to work on some of this stuff and then we will catch back up. Can you hear that my husband stopped by for a minute? His radio's going in the background. I recorded this a second ago and I couldn't get the rooster to stop crowing. So even when my house is quiet, it's not quiet. We're here on our playground and I saw him out there and then Don't get me wrong, I in no way want to wish away the little years or rush through this phase of life. I know I've heard many a times from people ahead of me in life that have already lived through having little children, being home with little children, or whether they were working and simply remember the toddler years themselves, but now have grown children or adult children, you know. They are like, it doesn't get easier, it just gets different. And I fully anticipate there being 100% honest that is absolutely going to be my perspective as well and my experience. However, I will say this is downright exhausting. So often I wonder how we can better simplify our life in order to maximize the investments that we're making into our children, into our home, into our families, into our personal relationships and walks with the Lord and our marriage and all of these things. But in this specific season, I truly have prayed over it, have pondered it many, many a times, and I just feel like everything we are doing right now is exactly what we are called to do in this season. And it's kind of a tough one, I'm not gonna lie, but I am so grateful for each and every place that the Lord has us, and I fully recognize that we are only going to be here for what seems like a glimpse in time when we look back on this. But in saying all of that, I have to personally find outlets for myself in order to sustain this even halfway at all. Like, in order to have some kind of calm about me, and of course, the peace and presence of Jesus through the Holy Spirit is what really does that. But He provides these ways for me to be creative, for me to spend time doing things that I enjoy and trying out new hobbies and things like that. I totally believe that these things are gifts from the Lord, that time and the desires of our hearts being fulfilled are straight from the Lord. Every good gift comes from above. I know this from scripture. And so even down to the littlest of things like scrapbooking and other creative projects, I just am so thankful that He helps me find time for these, that we have family living next door that's willing to take the girls for a little while to give me a breather when they know that my husband is working odd hours and I'm by myself a lot. I am so grateful. We didn't live near family for a really long time. And so now that we do, and we are starting to better understand what a village feels like, it is such a game changer. It doesn't mean that I'm not tired and that I'm not putting forth a lot of effort and that my husband's not still working a lot to provide for our family, but it definitely is what the Lord uses sometimes to just step in when I'm at a breaking point. And it never fails that I can see that. I can very clearly see that. I've said before that God likes to work in the margin where it seems like there's just no way that I can possibly go on any longer. There's no way that we can possibly pay these bills. There's no way that whatever it may be. He likes to work there because then we can attribute the success and the credit and the glory to nothing other and no one other than Him, than God Himself. And I absolutely love that. How generous of the Lord, in my opinion, to make it so obvious to me that it's Him at work. Okay, so I dipped my toes in the water last night of scrapbooking, and I already feel like I'm learning so much. Everything that I think is like, oh, this is a new hobby that I'm just going to try and pick up and dabble in, I feel like there's such a learning curve, but I'm trying to just take it slowly and enjoy the process. So I am really just in like the figuring out the layout phase, figuring out like how to group pictures. I've sorted through all of the ones that I have printed and just put them in order by timeline, basically. And then I'm seeing how many go with each. Like, they were all taken together. So, like birthday parties and Halloween and Christmas and, you know, all the things. So then trying to figure out how to arrange them. I got, I think, 4 or 5 pages done last night. I really love patterns. And so I got a busy pattern for the paper, the cardstock paper inserts. And I love it so much. But I'm really trying hard to make sure that it doesn't overpower the actual photos that I'm wanting to display in this scrapbook. So there's just some things that I am figuring out and taking my time with, but having a good time. And then I'll make it all extra pretty later with the frillies and the lace and the stickers and the bows and whatever else. So really having fun with that. But for now, I want to pivot and work on our next project. I have been seeing on Pinterest these Bible sleeves. It's really like a book sleeve. It's a cover for any book, but I adore the quilted ones for Bibles. And I have just been thinking I would really like one of those for my Bible. I have an ESV journaling Bible, so it's a very, very pretty like fabric lined exterior cover. But I thought that this would be a great additional way to kind of keep that clean, and it's just really cute, if I'm being honest. So I'm looking at patterns, at fabrics that I already have here in my stash. I love pattern play, absolutely love mixing patterns in my home, in my girls' clothes, in absolutely everything. So I am between, well, let me take the white out because that will just be for the bow. but I'm looking at these three right now, and I'm really loving the blue, at least for summer and spring. The gray floral is very appropriate for that as well, but I just love the blue and white. I think it's so beautiful. And of course, neutral, this is how extra I can be. Of course, neutral would match more of whatever I'm wearing, but I think that I might do, if I have enough of the blue and white, that's the only thing I'm not sure of. I might do the blue and white for the exterior, and then the tan and white gingham for the interior lining. And then you put like quilt batting in the middle. I'm going to show you the whole process. I've never made one of these before, so this is going to be a first. And if it goes well, then I can use other material to make some for different seasons if I want to. One thing that I really also want to incorporate, but I have not seen a great tutorial on how, and I'm not sure that I really know how. Maybe I do. I'm trying to think it through as I'm saying this. Is I want to add, I highlight my entire Bible. Like, I have a highlighter code that I use. I'll put it here on the screen because it has just served me so well over the last few years. It's not something that I came up with, but I really do love it so much. So I use all 5 colors of highlighters all the time. And I'll also link down below where I get my highlighters and my Bible pens from, because they're amazing. I've had them for probably close to 10 years and they're fantastic. I love them. 10 out of 10 recommend. I want a better way to hold those, because right now I keep them in like a separate pencil bag down in my church purse. If you know, I have a school purse, a church purse, and then like in real life, I just don't carry a purse. I carry my keys that have a little wallet on the keychain. But in my church purse, I have so many things. And so I am trying to really condense that and make it all organized. And that way I don't have a ton of extra stuff either that I don't really need. Anyways, I just want to go ahead and get started. Our church is actually starting up a new ladies' Bible study tonight. And you guys, this is so exciting, because we have not had this at our church since we joined there, which was like 3 years ago. It's just, our church has went through a lot of leadership changes, a lot of struggle, if I'm being completely honest, over the last few years. And we have felt very much at peace with the Lord keeping us there. My husband has become an ordained deacon in the meantime. I have helped out a lot with different areas, and so for this to be happening, it feels like, man, maybe we are just like finally getting some momentum, getting past a lot of that stuff, and ready to move forward together as a body of Christ. And I cannot tell you how, I could just cry right now. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am for that. And also the person that is stepping up to facilitate this, I admire her so much, and I'm just so excited and thankful for her stepping out in faith and doing this for the women of our church. So all of that to say, I have a couple of hours. We're doing quiet time right now. If the girls remain in quiet time for that long, then hopefully I can knock this out before our Bible study tonight and see how it goes at our first session. So did not expect to get emotional with that, but here we are. I am going to go ahead and turn on some worship music to play in the background while I just sew away. I absolutely love sewing, so let's get to it. As I mentioned previously, we have had some leadership changes within our church over the last couple of years, really since right after we joined and became members of this faith family. We have been seeking a lead pastor for about 2 years now, and I can say with much excitement and eager anticipation that this upcoming Sunday will be the first Sunday of our new called pastor being with us. So I am so much looking forward to that. And as a church, we've just kind of been talking about how appropriate it is that after such a season of waiting and trying to remain steadfast and to run the race well with endurance, that this pastor is coming right at the time of us getting ready for Easter. I've heard it said that Easter is like Super Bowl Sunday for Christians, and I just love that, because there's no greater act in history than the resurrection of Jesus Christ. If the resurrection didn't happen, if Jesus didn't rise from the dead, then the rest of our faith would be obsolete. Everything hinges on this act, and I feel like that it should just be celebrated larger than anything else. It's so exciting. Christmas has its place as well, but Easter is so much fun. I get so amped up for it, and I am just so thankful that as we are coming out of winter and this new season of spring is bringing new life, I have encouragement and I have hope that our church is receiving the same in this new pastor, in this new leadership, and I'm just so grateful for that. So I did not end up finishing the Bible sleeve in time for my Bible study that night, though the Bible study did kick off so wonderfully. It was so refreshing, and just I'm very excited for what's to come in terms of all that. But I came back home that evening and finished. However, there were some things that didn't work out too great about it. I did end up getting the pockets on here for my highlighters and stuff, which is super cool and helpful, but I quilted it so heavily that it took the size down drastically. So my Bible would not actually fit in it. So my Sunday school class is going through a book that I also keep in my church bag called I Am a Church Member, and it fits perfectly in there. It's a very small book, but I can still use this for other things. I also got distracted in between making the ribbon ties, so I did not hem the edges, and now they kind of unravel as I tie and untie it. So in saying all of that, I figured out how to make it, what to change, what to do better, what to do differently, and made one that I love. I ended up finding this fabric in my scrap box. I had completely forgotten that I had it, and I had just enough, and I just adore her. I ended up doing like a diamond quilted pattern on this one. It didn't take nearly as long. It didn't take nearly as much of my fabric away from me, and it just fits perfectly. I ended up doing 4 pockets across the front for my highlighters and pens, and they all just are so snug. I think they're so cozy, and I love it so much. I was excited to get up and do my quiet time this morning to utilize all of this, which I know I should be excited to do my quiet time every day, but there was an extra motivation this morning. So I am very, very glad that you came along for this crafty little cozy start to spring with me, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that maybe it's been refreshing for you. I know it has been for me, and yeah, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I'll catch you next time. Bye guys.